Are you going to do it, Dud?
We are live.
We have today, it's a very special show today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras going currently. We are on the Bear Independent Instagram, the Bear Independent YouTube, the Refuge Medical YouTube, the Refuge Medical TikTok, and the Refuge Medical Instagram. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Firing on all systems from, we are 45 feet below the Earth's surface currently in the other bunker at Refuge Medical, where we store all of our medical gear, as well as, because it's GreenDay, peanut butter nitro milk stout. Of course, in the Sojourn Gear saw rig, not available for sale just yet, but if you're on Patreon, I'll be giving you one in the near future, so stay tuned. Of course, if you're new here, ring the subscribe button, press the subscribe button, ring the little bell icon. If you're on one of these other platforms, of which there are 5, you know what to do, like thumbs up, all that bull crap, all right? We're gonna do the brief today. I apologize for not being apologetic about the fact that we're significantly late today, about 4.5, 5 hours later than usual, but we are very happy, clap hand, to welcome a new life into the tribe. The father has blessed a brother and sister with a healthy baby boy as of very early this morning, and as such, we took the requisite delay in getting on air this morning. So praise the Father. We're going to do the brief, and then after we do the brief, I'm going to hang out. We're going to do some live Q&A across all of these platforms. We're going to have a beer or two. I assure you, I already have a ride planned. Don't be stupid today. Do not drink and drive. That shit is not worth it, okay? Okay, Bear. All right, good talk, everybody. Bear Independent Brief, 17 March 23. As you're probably aware, the global banking system is on edge, and fears are roiling the markets in the U.S. Here's what's happened. In a little more than a week, multiple U.S. financial institutions have collapsed in quick succession because of bank runs fueled by social media panic, or so they say. Which one is the YouTube Refuge Medical over here? That one right there is, I'm looking at you, YouTube Refuge channel. Social media, Chinese spyware.
No, the Chinese spyware.
Chinese spyware is over here?
Yes.
Got it. Juvenile Asian informants.
And the thoughts.
And the thoughts.
Don't forget the thoughts.
Put some damn clothes on Instagram. Every one of you, get yourself a burqa. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Our number one thought is in the chat. Bug out Bob action.
Bug out Bob.
Yeah.
That's a hottie with a naughty body right there.
Oh yeah. You should have seen him in just his boots a little earlier.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
glad I didn't see that. Silicon Valley Bank collapsed so rapidly in what's being called the first Twitter-fueled bank run that all deposits at SVB have already been guaranteed by U.S. authorities. By the way that they're paying for this is the FDIC is increasing the amount that every other bank in the country has to pay into the FDIC to cover the money that's been given to Silicon Valley Bank. What does that mean for you? Higher bank fees, lower returns, interest rates on your savings accounts, essentially. So, yay, way to go, Silicon Valley Bank. A smaller bank Signature received the same treatment. Both banks' deposits were guaranteed within 48 hours of their collapse, an astoundingly fast response. Almost like they knew it was going to happen. I mean, did I just say that out loud? I guess I just said that out loud. Similarly, the Swiss National Bank offered a $54 billion loan to Credit Suisse just hours after its share price fell about 30% this week. Also, Deutsche Bank, Germany's largest bank, is like teetering on the edge of collapse as we speak. So, might be a good day, you know, instead of going to the bar and, you know, racking up a $300 bar tab, like, buy some beans, buy some rice, you know, get you a first aid kit. Maybe go to the range, work on your weapons handling, be able to hit your targets that you're aiming at, go for a ruck, do some PT, hang out with your family, buy a goat, you know, whatever you're into. I'm not saying it's the beginning of the end of the world, I'm just saying it looks a little bit like it could be the beginning of the end of the world.
History repeating itself.
It's almost like there's a pendulum that swings about every 20 years or so, and we should have collapsed in 2008, but we didn't because the banks were bailed out by our taxpayer dollars, and we kicked the can down the road by 15 years, and here we are in 2023 going through the same thing. But don't worry, it's not systemic, it's not a contagion, it's going to be fine. Right? Right, Medic Mouse? No way. I know. But what do I know? Just some prepper dude full of propaganda on the internet. I'm sure on these 5 platforms, we're all going to be pulled down by the end of the day. It's whatever. Let's see. Where the heck were we? For perspective, SVB's collapse took 2 days instead of Washington Mutual's 8-month collapse in 2008. And this is the 2nd largest bank failure in U.S. history. In that time, clients of the bank had withdrawn only $42 billion in deposits. Just $42 billion. You know what I mean, Instagram? You know what I mean. Leaving the bank with a balance of negative $958 million. Consumer Bankers Association President Lindsey Johnson said in a statement, quote, "The last several days represent a unique incident fueled by misinformation on social media and are not indicative of the health of our industry." Well, Lindsey Johnson, I'm sure you're terribly believable, but I don't know if I'm buying what you're selling. It's not merely hysteria, though. Ultimately, this can be traced back to the Federal Reserve. Who'd have thought? Which, by the way, is not a branch of the federal government. It's a private corporation, which I think we're all aware of by now. But don't worry, they absolutely, like every other bank in the world, have your best interest at heart and totally super duper much want to take care of you. As the Fed continually raised interest rates, startups would withdraw funds from SVB to stay afloat, and the bank, SVB, in return, was forced to sell all of its available for-sale bonds at a loss of $1.8 billion. You know what's super interesting? There's been a bunch of video that's been coming out across the social medias of these bank managers and Federal Reserve folks talking about, don't die, Lauren. Don't die, Lauren. The Jocko goes in the food pipe, not in the air pipe. You gonna make it?
Oh, yeah.
Do you need medical intervention? This is the best place for it. You're sitting next to 4 EMT bags. You good? All right. Burpees. So these Federal Reserve, Walking Dead, are talking about how they don't just print money anymore because printing money costs money. It takes pretend dollars to make more pretend dollars. So instead, they just fire up the old Dell laptop and just start tappy tap tap, and they just add ones and zeros to people's bank accounts digitally now, which is interesting because a lot of people talk about, but Bear, what are we going to do when we get a digital dollar? Homie, you already have a digital dollar. You've had a digital dollar for years. What are you going to do? You're going to keep using the debit card or credit card that you already have that's just another physical representation of pretend money. You already have that. We all already have that. I know a handful of people that actually carry cash on them at all times. I'm one of them because occasionally we engage in hood rat shit, and cash is great for hood rat shit. But as far as even if you had a stack of Benjamins, it's just funny paper with a dead guy's face on it that doesn't represent any actual wealth anyway. So I'm, in case you can't tell, not overly concerned about digital dollar and central bank digital currency. But think of the control they'll have, Barrett. They already have control of you. They already have control of you. That's why you need to get as independent from the broken, fragile system as possible, which some of y'all have asked the question, if that's the case, Bear, why are you still engaged in commerce? Oh, simple. Because our mission statement at Refuge Medical is to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of His provision and blessing. Because 69 people are still alive because we showed up to work. That's why. And if it creates an opportunity for me to extract a little bit of capital from Babylon in the meanwhile, I'm in. Count me in. Because sheep and fence and trees and wood chippers and long-term food storage and solar panels and rainwater collection, all that costs pretend dollars. So I'm going to get whatever pretend dollars I can so that I can continue to ease myself out of the system, that when the system collapses, I don't collapse with it. Does that make sense? Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And I don't exactly love that shit. I just weaponize it for good, if that makes sense. Yeah, makes a ton of sense, Bear. Tracking like a tank. All right, roger that, Gray Mouse. Thanks. Appreciate you. Appreciate you back, Bear. All right, good talk, everybody. SVB investors were surprised when the bank announced that it needed to raise $2.25 billion to shore up its balance sheet. Concerned about a potential bank run, 3 notable funds sent out mass emails to their startup rosters instructing them to pull out of SVB. Fintech investor Ryan Falvey pointed out, quote, when you say, hey, get your deposits out, this thing's going to fail, That's like yelling fire in a crowded theater. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Almost like a debt economy is also a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're only, what, $31.4 trillion in debt? We're going to talk more about that in a moment. And also, where's some of that money going? Turns out there's another Biden, another one.
What?
There's another Biden that's just getting money from China.
How dare they?
How interesting. Why? Why? Other than we know the obvious answer, because he's in on it. They're all in on it. Why hasn't this president been impeached, removed from office for conduct unbecoming the president of the United States of America, embezzling, funding the enemy?
The big guy did that when he was VP.
The big guy. Yeah, that's right. The big guy. Which is funny. Like, what do you think he's trying to cover up for? The big guy? Like, I bet. I'm just saying. I bet this is what the big guy is talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, his leg hair is the thing on the. Yeah.
I mean, let's not even talk about all the sniffing. That shit's just 100% weird. What's up, Kermode Bear? Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the super chat. Where the heck were we? As regional banks became suspect in the wake of Silicon Valley Bank collapse, more cards began to fall. Signature Bank's lending appeared to be heavily involved in mortgage-backed securities, predatory loans, and speculative activity in New York City. First Republic Bank is in a tight spot now, too, with a credit rating of junk status from S&P Global and Fitch. It has assured customers that it would be receiving $70 billion hairs from JP Morgan Chase and the Federal Reserve. Epic shot. Appreciate you. Thank you. Many regional U.S. banks, including First Republic, saw their shares get crushed on the open Thursday morning as fears continue to wreak havoc. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has assured a Senate panel, quote, "Our banking systems remain sound and Americans can feel confident that their deposits will be there when they need them." However, when Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma asked her if community banks in his state, regardless of size, would be fully insured too, she admitted that they would not. Of course, because, you know, too big to fail, it's a thing. Saying that uninsured deposits would only be covered if not doing so would, quote, "create systemic risk and significant economic and financial consequences." In other words, we don't care about your small bank. We don't care about, Main Street America. We care about our buddies on Wall Street. We care about our buddies in Silicon Valley. Oh, and by the way, let's nobody talk about how SVB's accounts have all been gobbled up by HSBC, which is a Chinese bank. Just throwing that out there. China, the place where this hoodie was not made, because this was made by Origin. China, the place where this chest rig was not made, because this was made by Sojourn Gear. China, the place where this beer was not made, because this was made by the Belching Beaver Brewing Company. China, the place where these jeans were not made, because they were made by Origin. China, the place where these socks were not made, because they were made by Covert Threads. China, the place where these boots were not made, because they were made by Origin. China, the place where this human wasn't made, because I come from America. But don't worry, they're in control of another $175 billion of American revenue. No big deal. No, nothing to see here. No big deal. Militant said, grow food. Yeah, grow food. Agreed. What's up to everybody over on the IG over here? Put your clothes on. Put your damn clothes on. I don't care what you're doing. Stop. Put your clothes on. I don't know how it became socially acceptable for people to hang out in thongs on Instagram, but just stop. Put your damn clothes on.
That's called thirst traps.
Thirst trap. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so it shows you what I know. I have the original thirst trap right here. It's called water, H2O. High quality H2O out of the Berkey filter at home. I should probably just do my job and read the brief, right? All right. Many U.S. regional banks, including First Republic, saw their shares get crushed in the open Thursday morning. We talked about that. Senator Lankford responded, "I'm concerned you're encouraging anyone who has a large deposit at a community bank to say, we're not going to make you whole. But if you go to one of our preferred banks, we will make you whole." End quote. Yellen, of course, denied this. The main fear right now is of a contagion. Interesting phrase. Would it be a similar made-up contagion like what we saw in the last couple of years? Is it actually a contagion, or is it all predictive programming? Is it all part of the planned collapse, man?
They already made a movie called Contagion.
Yeah?
Well, they probably already have it planned out, just saying.
I'm for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm pretty sure they have it all planned out.
Yeah.
This is all part of the plan. When I was live with Ben from Suspicious Observers, go back and watch that live stream on this channel on Bear Independent. It was phenomenal live stream. I asked him, how aware do you believe the global elites are of what's happening with space weather and environmental changes and all of that? And he went on an epic rant. It was so good. Basically, he said, if they're acting like there's not going to be a reckoning, that's because they know there's not going to be a reckoning. Risky Krisky, what's up, bro? Y'all don't like my Instagram thong. I like the Marpat one. I'm not really much of a multicam guy, if I'm being completely honest. But the Marpat one, it does it for me. It does it for me. Especially when you wear those knee-high socks with your Solomon boots.
And just
Tremendous.
the right sunglasses.
And just the right sunglasses, right? You need like aviator shades for sure. Oh, too much Molly on it. Gray Mouse, that's funny. Is that a dangler kit? Is that what that means?
I guess so.
Mar-
That would be a dangler.
We're gonna introduce some Sojourn Gear Marpat thongs and call them the dangler. I like it. I like it. The main fear right now is of a contagion that could lead to global recession. Already, this banking industry turmoil has reached its long fingers across the Atlantic, shaking up investors in Credit Suisse, a global investment bank and financial services firm headquartered in Switzerland. The institution provides services to more than 50 countries around the world. As mentioned before, the Swiss National Bank provided it with a $54 billion line of liquidity. Moreover, the institution repurchased $2.5 billion in U.S. bonds and euros from the European Central Bank. It has just been announced that the institution, this being the Swiss National Bank, is now being sued by shareholders who say the bank has been concealing financial problems. My guess with all of this is just more consolidation of power. Excuse me. More consolidation of power. A couple of notes from the Bear Nation. Shalom from Stonewall, Oklahoma. What's up, Jethro? Appreciate the $5 bill. Thank you. Shalom from Spiro, Oklahoma, 42 feet below the surface of the earth in the refuge bunker. Bear Independent bonus intel. Email address is intel@bearindependent.com. If you can't spell intel@bearindependent.com, you are self-selecting out of the ability to provide intel to the Bear Nation. Ote? Ote. These are all quotes. I'm not going to say quote over and over again. I work at a bus manufacturer in Anniston, Alabama, and at 12:36 hours, that's just after noon, myself and several co-workers seen a C-130 that just took off from the Anniston airport and watched it fly over us. The bird was plenty low enough to see that it had no identification markers on it, no flags, no numbers, whatever. Aluma Tommy, ChatGPT got past a robot CAPTCHA test by telling an online gig worker it was a blind person needing the CAPTCHA done. What caliber for Atlas bot? Yep. 7.6251 black tip at a minimum would be my recommendation for fighting robot wars. But if it's one of those Sarkos robots that's been up armored, yeah, 50 AP probably, somewhere in there. Or just EMP them, or kill it with fire, or whatever. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day because I had to do one of those CAPTCHA things. I was like, could ChatGPT sue CAPTCHA? Click here, I'm not a robot. But what if they are a robot? Well, now we're infringing upon the robot's rights, right? We can't have that.
We learned how that went wrong in The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah. One of the 4 movies I've seen in my lifetime. Also, I believe, at least according to Ranger Up, today was the day, many years ago, that Braveheart was released. One of the best movies ever made.
Very true.
How would you know if you've only seen 4 movies?
It's one of the 4 I've seen.
Well, okay.
The rest of them just weren't worth my time. It's as simple as that.
Mr. Mom, right?
No, I've seen Mr. Mom. Rambo, Rocky IV, Braveheart, The Patriot. That. Again, admitting my own biases, I have been super duper successfully indoctrinated into 1980s, 1990s America First culture. M81 Woodland, you know, Wolverines, I guess that's the 5th one I've seen. You know, This is what you're paying for. Oh, wait a minute. These are free.
Yep.
So, C-130 flying around with no marking identifiers. Wisconsin and most Guard brigades are panicked with low unit readiness. COVID, GWAT, and other things have taken a focus of maintenance away from the equipment, with equipment on the verge of 50% ready rate. The generals and staff are preparing to put Guard maintenance staff on full-time orders to get things back up to operational status. The panic, I would assume, is they are not really ready for a peer-to-peer war. Thank you, Got Your Six. Appreciate you. Shabbat Shalom. And lastly, we had a shelter in place secondary to a chemical leak here in New Albany, Indiana. The name of the company is called Chemical Specialty. Reports were to shelter in place, but the chemical was deemed non-lethal. Everything back to normal, I guess. And there's a screenshot of what back to normal looks like. There's no filter on this image. I'm colorblind and I can tell that doesn't look normal. Can y'all see that? There we go. I got 5 phones, one for each of you. And for the juvenile Asian intelligence operatives up there. Now, let's see here. We have a few articles that we're going to look at today as well. Another Biden family member took foreign cash. Now, it's firmly past noon, and it is Green Day. So before we go ahead and look at this propaganda from RT, we'll rip open the pouch on our saw rig from Sojourn Gear, deploy the Spyderco Resilience, pop a top, pop a top. That was TikTok, that was not a gunshot. Simmer down, Asians. And we are going to have ourselves a lovely Green Day beverage. Ta-da! Cheers, Internet. Gosh dang, that's good.
That was some ASMR.
Ah, gosh dang, that's good. Belching Beaver Milk Stout Nitro. Peanut Butter Milk Stout Nitro. From the Belching Beaver Brewery. Found out about this in Vegas while we were at SHOT Show. And it was the best part about Vegas. Meeting Demo Ranch was cool. Meeting Jerry and Lena Michalek was cool. Meeting the Waft people was cool. Meeting all the other people was cool. This is worth driving back to Vegas for. But luckily, we still have some type of logistics here in the United States of America, and you can buy this on the internet, and it'll show up on your doorstep. Thank you, Belching Beaver Brewing Company. So no cigar stream tonight. Nope. At sundown, it's Shabbat. At sundown, the store closes. At sundown, we stop doing business. So if you think the world's ending today, I would go to refugemedical.com before the damn sun goes down, because otherwise we'll see you after sundown on Saturday. RT.com, another Biden family member took foreign cash, according to a report. The president's daughter-in-law received tens of thousands of dollars from a Chinese energy firm. Bank records released by Republican lawmakers show. President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. ***'s daughter-in-law was one of 3 Biden family members to receive a share of a $3 million payment from a Chinese energy company, according to bank records obtained by GOP lawmakers. Hallie Biden, who was married to Beau Biden before he died, who Biden insists died while in service during the GWAT, I believe, but whose death records show he died here in the United States of America in 2011. But I'm not entirely certain Biden even knows which planet he's on. This Hallie was Beau Biden's wife, who also, for a period of time, dated Hunter Biden.
Yep. I thought they got married.
Did they?
Hey, I think they got married, then he got a stripper pregnant, then they got divorced, and all this other stuff. It's an entangled web of deceit.
Normal presidential stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Reloading. Yeah, normal presidential stuff, right? Like, I hate it when my one son is banging hookers, but then decides to get biblically married to my dead son's daughter while taking money from Chinese energy firms, and while I'm vice president of the United States of America, and then running for President of the United States of America. The most popular president ever, 81 million votes in the age of COVID. More popular than Barack Hussein Obama. Hate it when that happens.
Hey.
Released by the Republican-controlled House Oversight Committee on Thursday, the records showed that the Biden family associate named Rob Walker received a bank transfer of $3 million from CEFC China Energy in March of 2017, 2 months after Joe Biden's vice presidency ended. Over the next 2 months, Walker transferred more than $1 million to a company owned by James Gilliar, a business partner of Joe Biden's son, Hunter. The same amount was distributed between Hallie Biden, Hunter Biden, and James Biden, a.k.a. Joe Biden's brother. Super duper cool. Nothing to see here. You know, and here's the thing. Let's be frank. Let's get thrown off of all of the platforms today. A lot of people today are like, we got to take this country back. Minuteman, militia stuff, 1776, 1789 Bill of Rights. Yep. Which one of you's fixing to tar and feather the politicians? How come there's nobody swinging from trees right now?
Very true.
I would submit, while I agree with the sentiment, the men and women that we are of the United States of America now are far softer than the men and women of the United States of America at our founding. And frankly, they, the big they, have weaponized these American institutions against us. You're going to end up in a little box. You even talk about things like that seriously. Yeah. Well, what about the central bank digital currency? They will put you in a box for the rest of your life if you even talk like that. What about all the people who were arrested on January 6th who are still in prison? That were invited in to the Capitol building, right? Yep. But it is FAFO Friday, so, you know, sometimes people FA and then they just got to FO. Let's see, more Russian propaganda from RT. Leading U.S. banks rescue distressed lender. 11 financial institutions agreed to inject $30 billion into First Republic Bank. I'm not saying this is the beginning of the end. I'm just saying it seems eerily like the beginning of the end. You know, the indicators aren't so great today. A group of the largest U.S. banks unveiled a $30 billion injection in troubled regional lender First Republic to inspire confidence in the country's banking system amid a widening crisis triggered by the collapse of 2 other mid-sized lenders. First Republic will receive uninsured deposits from the country's 11 banking majors: Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of New York Mellon, PNC Bank, State Street, Truist, and U.S. Bank, according to a statement released by First Republic on Thursday evening. First Republic shares have pared some of their earlier losses. Earlier this week, the lender's stock price plunged 61.8%, forcing a brief halt in trading due to volatility. The U.S. banking sector has been hit by a major crisis following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank last week after depositors rushed to withdraw their money amid worries over the bank's financial health. And blah, 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 blah. So there's another $30 billion just casually being injected into the banking system so that it doesn't collapse. I'm sure there's nothing to see here. And interestingly, from MSN.com, originally published by CNBC, super trustworthy people, just a different form of propaganda. Headline reads, China would be among first paid under GOP's debt limit plan, says Treasury Secretary Yellen. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Thursday that China would be among the first in line to get paid under a Republican proposal. Well, they're better than the Democrats under a Republican proposal to prioritize some U.S. debt obligations over others, calling it, quote, a dangerous idea, end quote, that would technically cause the U.S. to default on its bonds. That's super good. Nothing to see here. House Republicans are holding up a bill to raise the U.S. debt ceiling, which hits its $31.4 trillion borrowing limit in January. They want any agreement on the debt limit to be paired with spending cuts on social programs. Now, brief analysis from a guy who's basically retarded when it comes to big numbers like that, but the thing with banks is debt. Your debt is an asset to a bank. So the Federal Reserve System, which is our national banking system, when the United States is in debt to the bank to the tune of $31.4 trillion, that's an asset to the bank. It's a liability to the borrower, the country, but it's an asset to the lender, the banks. My guess is, based upon history, seeing that everybody who talked even a little bit about getting back on the gold standard somehow mysteriously got shot in the face. RFK, JFK, MLK, John Lennon. Shall we continue? Coincidence. Coincidence, I'm sure. Somehow mysteriously got shot in the face, or the back of the head. Yeah, it's either here nor there. Whatever. They accidentally got assassinated by the same people in roughly the same time period for talking about the same thing. Nothing to see here. My guess is that the borrowing limit will be raised because every time the country goes into more and more debt, the bankers who kind of run things around here, they increase their assets. Interesting. Their latest debt ceiling proposal, which passed 21-17 out of the House Ways and Means Committee last week, would prioritize which payments the U.S. Treasury makes first when the U.S. hits the debt ceiling at which it cannot issue any more bonds. The GOP plan places a higher priority on making public debt obligations and Social Security payments than other types of government obligations. Quote, that's a stupid quote. We're not going to read that one. Democrats have pointed out that the Republican plan to prioritize payments would benefit Wall Street and China since they hold the most government bonds. China holds about $1 trillion of U.S. debt, about 3% of all U.S. debt outstanding. Quote, if Treasury follows this Republican plan, bearing in mind that China holds about $1 trillion in U.S. debt, who would get paid first? Senator Sherrod Brown, Democrat of Ohio, asked. Well, if that were prioritized, China would get paid ahead of them, Yellen answered, referring to seniors who get Social Security and veterans who get VA benefits. She added that debt prioritization is default by another name. So we've got max about 11 months before either we go into more debt or the country defaults, de facto defaults, according to Janet Yellen, president of the Fed. So just remember, boys and girls, the emperor has no clothes. That's fine. It's just a stupid game that we somehow play with a stupid system to get some stupid money with some dead people's pictures on it to more or less run on the stupid hamster wheel and do the same stupid shit every day. Break out of that system. Break out of that mentality. Do shit that matters. Don't do shit that doesn't matter. That's the brief for today. If you want to stick around, we're going to do some live Q&A. But before we do some live Q&A, while we drink beer today on Green Day, we're going to talk about how to support the show. If you're one of those people that jumps off when we talk about how to support the show, this is your polite invitation to beat feet, skedaddle, get out of here, have a blessed day, shalom. For everybody else, we're going to talk about how to support the show.
In green.
In green. I believe this chest rig is green. Is this chest rig green?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. I'm the uberist of the colorblind people.
It has a good contrast with the brown beer.
Yeah. So you say.
Yes.
I believe you. Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here as your eyes.
Thank you.
Yep.
You look
I forget that TJ's colorblind, and then I'm like, hey, TJ, how's the color on this look?
great. Looks great. Thanks, Lauren. You're the best. You're the best. You look great in that Marpat Dangler, by the way. You're really rocking that thing.
Well, that's why I got to stay behind the screen so we don't
get demonetized.
Demonetized, banned, all the accounts flagged.
I got to call Pete and Jocko and see if we can start making thongs out of the Origin Raptor camo. We should just make a handful of them and just send them over to Origin. Be like, hey, we thought you guys would like this. Check this out.
Hey, we hope they don't start acting like one of those coffee companies. That can get real spicy.
That's
quick.
true. The bikini snap?
Oh, yeah.
But it's the Origin Raptor Camo Thong Snap? Oh, geez. All right, how to support the show. Patreon.com. The links for all this stuff is in the description of every video and live stream. If you're not on YouTube, go to patreon.com, search for Bear Independent, or click the link down below. It's $5 per month. It's the best $5 you can spend on the internet. There are 20 plus exclusive pieces of content per month over on Patreon. The best piece of content I think we do each week is the Patreon exclusive live stream on Thursdays. A lot of people have asked, what happened to Thirsty Thursday on YouTube? It lives on Patreon now. It's an exclusive Patreon thing, and it's 2 to 3 hours every week where we hang out, we talk, we do Q&A, we pray together, we talk about the Father, we talk about homesteading, talk about current events. It's the best. It's $5 a month, in addition to all the other Q&A videos and the homestead updates and the blah, 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 the blocks of instruction. It's the best $5 you can spend on the internet. Try it out. Link in the description. Now, refugemedical.com. You may have noticed I'm at the Refuge store today. You may have noticed that I am the founder and CEO of Refuge Medical. You may have noticed that somehow, by the hand of the Most High, we've saved 69 people's lives to date. We're on 4 continents, electively with all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces these days. It's pretty badass. And thousands of law enforcement officers and EMTs and paramedics and firefighters. It's incredible. I will tell you point blank, there is no GreenDay sale. There is no GreenDay sale. Let me repeat one more time. There is no GreenDay sale. Let me tell you why there's no GreenDay sale. First is, we charge a fair price for our stuff every day. We don't price point our shit so that a few times per year we can do a big sale and generate a bunch of revenue. It's the best equipment you can buy. Whether you're military, law enforcement, firefighter, EMS, civilian, emergency management, whatever your job is, it's the best stuff you can buy, period, the end. We make everything here, every stitch, every grommet, every buckle, every thread, every piece of fabric here. We guarantee it forever. If you break it, I'll replace it at no cost to you. If you use it to save a life, I'll replace whatever you used up to and including the entire kit at no cost to you. Just send us an email and say, hey man, I used my stuff. You get those emails, praise the Father every day, whether it's aid rendered or life saved. 69 lives saved to date, hundreds of aid rendered stories. There's even a tab at the website, refugemedical.com, where you can go read some of those AARs of people using their kits. Normal people out there in the world using their kits to save people's lives. The next reason is, I don't know if you noticed, but there's already one almost global war going on, and there's probably going to be another global war going on in the relatively near future. And the things that we sell, tourniquets, pressure bandages, gauze, quick clot, chest seals, decompression needles, etc., 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 are in huge demand right now. It is everything we can do, working directly with the manufacturers who make this stuff, to stay in stock. And when we say in stock, I mean it's under this roof, under the 42 foot of dirt down here in the refuge bunker. We own it. It's in our inventory. So when we say it's in stock, that means I can go put my hands on it, pull it off the shelf, put it in a box, and send it to you immediately. Not like a lot of other companies who show something in stock, you buy it, and then you get an email that says, we'll ship in 6 to 8 weeks. Negative. That's not how we operate. So there is no GreenDay sale, because this is the best life-saving equipment you can get on the face of the earth, and it's in incredibly high demand right now. So to that, I would recommend, if you need a kit, get one. All right? All right. That's right, Tom Chem Engineer. Wars on multiple fronts. Stock up. Exactly. Now, as always, everything at Refuge Medical, kits, components, whatever you got, is HSA and FSA eligible. We guarantee it forever. We ship fast. It's in stock. It's the best. We are featuring today our green kits. You can buy whatever you want, man. You want a Red Adventure kit? Got it. You want an OX, OSHA compliant kit advanced for your work truck or your warehouse or your farmstead or your barn, whatever? Go for it. You need a red Bearfac? Go for it. You need a multicam arc? We got it. It's there. Go check it out. And here in a little bit, I'll show you some kits on camera if you guys want to see them. If you don't want to see them, that's fine. In fact, you can tell me in the chat right now if you want to see kits. You want to see some kits? Yes or no? We are driving by. Honk, honk. Don't do a drive-by.
Let's see those kits.
Do you want to see? Do you guys have any suture kits? Yeah, we have suture kits that come, look for the surgical kits in the components. Kits, 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 yes, 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 yes. Kits, kits, yep, all right, well, people have spoken. All right, Dud, you want to push that tote over here? Don't spill out of the dangler.
Okay.
Don't spill out of the, keep that thing holstered.
I got to keep myself covered up.
Yeah, you just drop it right there. Thanks. All right. Green adventure kit. Get a lot of questions about like, what's the best kit that I should get for insert here? If you need a larger vehicle kit, a homestead kit, a school kit, whatever, this thing is packed with stuff. Prioritized per the March algorithm. This bag is made here in the United States of America. Metal buckles, not plastic. It's not going to fail on you. If you're operationally operating like an operator, you can throw some electrical tape on there so they don't jingle. This kit's amazing, dude. It's absolutely amazing. Somebody just asked about sutures. Do you have sutures? Yes. This is the SK6 Suture and Surgical Kit. You can look for this on the store at refugemedical.com. This is included in the adventure kit, but in here you have 20 sutures, your surgical tools, your tape, your gauze, your disinfectants, your surgical drapes, et cetera, all right here in this module, ready to go. That's the SK6 surgical kit. You've got airway and respiratory modules, you've got your tourniquet, pressure bandages, wound packing gauze, you got a sharp shuttle, you got OTC meds, you got all this stuff in the adventure kit. It's an awesome, awesome kit. And as you can see, it's a shoulder bag. And the bag only, if you want just the bags on any of this stuff, click the Durable Goods tab at Refuge Medical, and you can buy the bag only. This is a great shoulder bag. It'll fit a MacBook, it'll fit a Glock, it'll fit water bottles and a blowout kit and whatever you want in it. And again, we make this here in America. This is not some Chinese off-the-shelf piece of shit bag. Every stitch, every grommet, every buckle, all of it made in the US, guaranteed forever. That's the adventure kit. And the ARC. Steven, our brother Steven was saying, you got any new kits? We do. We're going to talk about that. Should I tease that thing?
No.
Uh-oh.
But you can't say what it is.
I can't say what it is?
You can't say what it is.
You can't say what it is, and it's not green right there.
Something really heavy.
Yes. Whoa.
You know, I just remembered though. I run this bitch.
Whoa.
I do whatever I want, can't I?
Whoa. Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
All right. First of all, this is the ARC, the Advanced Rip-Away Kit right here. So this is MOLLE compatible. On the back, you can run it on a belt, plate carrier, or chest rig. It also comes with these straps so you can affix it to a headrest. What's cool about this, you pop the buckle, grab the red handle, rip this off. ARC, Advanced Rip-Away Kit. Pop this open, like so. Look at this thing, man. Prioritized per the March algorithm. Got these cool pockets in here. You've got your quick clot, chest seals, wound packing gauze, shears, tourniquet, gloves, all of that. And this is designed to work 1 to 2 casualties. So it's a great individual first aid kit, but it also, and look, made in the USA, made in the USA right there. Every stitch, every buckle, every grommet, every thread, made here in the United States of America, all right? This kit is awesome.
Wait, isn't there one that matches your hoodie?
There is, but that's a limited edition run. We'll talk about that later. And like always, I will tell the patrons first because I always give the patrons first shot at limited stuff like that.
Are you about to tell them about the limited edition thing?
I'm not.
Limited edition.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I'll tell it when they can buy it. I'll tell them about it. There is a thing that's about to go on pre-order. When? What day?
Sunday.
Sunday. Watch this. This is how we give Lauren anxiety.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Hey, Dud, what's this?
I
Oh! What?
Whoa, hey.
What is that? Is that a red
No.
American-made
No, that is a person wrapped in cloth.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's a little tiny person wrapped in red cloth.
I thought, see, I mistook this for a brand new Stomp Bag 2.0 made in America by Squatch. Hospital on your back, finally available in red.
You're holding it up like that.
Nope.
I'm friggin' strong. That's how I'm holding it up like this. Look at this thing. I mean, if this was a red made in America Stomp Bag,
But it's not.
that'd be incredible, but it's not. It's
No,
just a
it's
person
not.
wearing a backpack.
Yes,
That's all it is.
exactly.
That's all it is. Yep. That is.
Did you hear how that shook the entire market?
You better do your PT if you're gonna get that bag. I wore that bag 40 to 50 miles over 3 days at SHOT Show, and people were amazed. They're like, "Bear, did you ruck through SHOT Show?" Yeah. Why? Because I'm not a peasant. That's why. Because if I'm gonna sell you a bag, it better be the best on the face of the earth. And I am telling you, that bag is incredible. Now,
It's comfy.
I mean, it would be a great bag to make the all-American made Stomp Bag 2.0 out of, but that's just a midget in a backpack. But if
Somebody
one was
said-
going to do that on Sunday, that'd be great.
Somebody said it's Tory, not a spy balloon.
Totally not a spy balloon. Not even a little bit. It weighs a lot more than a spy balloon does. I think the Stomp 2.0 is 36 pounds, something like that. 36 pounds, and 38. That's good. It's good.
Better do your shrugs and squats.
Should we talk about the Field Explorer?
Yes.
We should. The Field Medic. We should talk about the Field Medic.
We're just everything today, aren't we?
Right.
Everything.
Somebody said, "Hey, do you have any new kits?"
Hey, wait.
That was
you
our
know
brother
what?
Steven.
He's feeling green today, so he's just vomiting it all out.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's diarrhea of the mouth. Somehow I got fuzzy on the interwebs, but that's okay. I'll show you one more new thing.
Do you see it?
I see it.
You see it. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss.
It's incredible.
It's up there.
Stand by.
Oh, there goes TikTok.
Oh, don't care. Look what it is.
No peasants.
Look what it is. The Field Medic.
That's American made too.
Oh, that's right. This is a
Oh, somebody that's in the chat.
This is a 100% American-made bag. Squatch Gear made this.
Yes, indeed.
We're getting these exclusively from them. Every stitch, every thread, every square inch of this fabric, made in America. This is the Field Medic. So if you're operationally operating like an operator, this will be available in all the cool guy colors, but also in red. It has taken me over a year to find a bag for stomps and what used to be called the mini stomp, but is now called the Field Medic, which we improved upon them. They're all improved, man. We're always iterating. It's taken me over a year to find a vendor that we love and trust for these bags. It's made in America, and this is them. Squatch. Awesome.
People are asking questions. Lady Smith asks, "Is it peanut butter scented?"
I can spill some beer on it and make it peanut butter scented for sure. I'll tell you what, when these go live, if you put peanut butter in the comment section, I will personally put peanut butter in each one of your bags when they go out.
Ooh.
Yep, that's right. And if you don't like crunchy peanut butter, you're wrong. You need to reconsider all of your life decisions. Anything else not peanut butter. Yes, DL Hemingway. That is, well, no, that's a midget in a bag. It's not the new Stomp 2.0.
Nope, not at all.
Not at all. But on Sunday, it might be. So, yeah. But of course, today's Green Day. We're talking about Green Day stuff.
Now,
Let's see.
it's not Screwball. You got to reload.
I'll show you one more kit, and then we're going to get on to doing some Q&A. This is the SOB, small to back kit. Our brother Patriot Plumber, who got into competitive shooting, reached out to us and he was like, "Hey, there's a bunch of these like little backpack kits that people run on their war belts, and they all suck shit. Can you please make one that doesn't? Because I know you can do that." And I was like, "Yeah, appreciate you, bro." He's like, "Awesome." And this is what we came up with. And now, SWAT teams, Special Forces. Some of our own guys run these things. I have one of these on my plate carrier, and I love it. This is the SOB, small of the back kit. You got a cat, turn it on, shock corded on the outside. Then in here, pop this open, grab the red handle, pull it out. Hey, I'm holding my IFAK now. It's not attached to my body where I can't use it. Pop open the inner pouch. You got all your stuff. Combat gauze, chest seals, wound packing gauze, pressure dressing, Sharpie, gloves, compressed gauze, etc., etc., etc. All inside the little pouch. And these are super duper reasonably priced. Oh, and I guess I forgot. Made in the USA. Sorry, TikTok. I know you guys don't like that, but made in the USA. You just too good, Bear. Thank you, Stephanie. We too good. We have an awesome team at Refuge. We have 4 awesome sew shops. We have an awesome blow molded case shop that makes all of our Ox cases for us, and soon to be our Crash and Smash cases for us. We have an awesome machine shop that is working on the first ever in the history of the industry American-made shears. Refuge shears are in process right now. We are, like, I don't think people get it from a business development standpoint, how much time and money we have poured into making everything here. Everybody else wants to buy the cheapest shit that they can buy from China and ship it over for the lowest cost that they possibly can, and then get it in and sell it at the highest price point so they can maximize their profits, while arming the enemy, the people we are going to be at war with in the next year or two. Not us. Not us. We make it here. We pay people a living wage. We make products that actually save people's lives. We don't think that they do. We haven't done it once or twice, 69 times in under 4 years. Praise Yah. 69 times in under 4 years. I know this stuff works. I have had Navy SARCs, Navy equivalent of an 18 Delta Special Forces medic, come in here and look at our stomp bags and go, what the hell? This is better than what we have. Yeah, buddy, that's the point. That's the point. I had a guy in the desert doing a thing one time, Navy corpsman, and I was like, hey man, you want to see our stomp bag? And he goes, what the hell do you know about a stomp bag? I was like, well, why don't you take a look and you let me know? He starts tearing through the bag and he was like, holy shit, dude, this is incredible. Thanks, appreciate that. That's what we do. We make the best kits on the face of the earth. Could not find chest seals on the website. Do you guys sell them individually? There is a module for that. If you go into components, durable goods and components, and then we look at the, where did it go? Oh, wow, we sold out the Basic Vitals set. I'm glad that I told Patreon about that yesterday. And then we go. Dropping a link in the chat. Thank you, Lauren. You go, girl. You got it?
I'm copying it.
Link in the chat. Yep.
Whoa. That went way too big.
Way too big. Awesome. Well, you got a link in the chat now.
Copy.
Also, whoever asked about the sutures, look for the surgical set that's on the components page. Yeah, and that's that. That's enough talking about Refuge. Refuge. Travis Martin.
Yeah, look at what Travis Martin said.
Just bought 2 mini stomps. I'm looking for new components to make it a field medic bag. Awesome, Travis Martin. Hey, email us. Just shoot us an email. Somebody here will get you taken care of for sure.
Just call. You'll speak to Heath.
Just call. You'll speak to Heath. Now, Refuge Training is on the road in Pennsylvania right now, teaching people the fine art of how to not die. If you don't understand how to not die, if you don't know how to use your kits, you need to come to class, refugetraining.com. Absolutely check that out. Thank you, Travis Martin. You're awesome, man. GrindstoneMinistries.com. If you think it's an abomination that right now that there are children who are being trafficked and sold for sex, so do we. And that's what we do. We rescue and restore those kiddos. We have 24 kids in our care, ages 1 to 19 right now. And I've been telling y'all, it costs us more than $20,000 per month to take care of them. Ran the numbers the other day. That number is actually over $30,000 per month it takes to provide everything for these kids. Security, food, water, shelter, medical needs, emotional needs, trauma professionals and consultants and all that, right? Raise them up in the way that they should go so they do not depart from it when they are older. That's what we're doing. If you want to assist us with that, you can visit grindstoneministries.com and you can plug in there. You can donate online if you would like to, if you feel convicted to. You can also buy the Caleb House swag, the t-shirts, the long sleeves, the hoodies that will help us build our restoration facility, Caleb House. And you can buy Saw's t-shirt, the Facts Not Feelings t-shirt. And there's a link to that in the description down below as well. Now, it is Green Day, and the feed is horrible.
Wait, who said that?
Yorktown said, I think it looks great from this side.
Yeah.
Love
They must be waiting for you to say all the small things.
No. Love the video sent before shipping Refuge gear. Great service. Thank you, Patrick. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we get that a lot. We pride ourselves on the best customer service in the industry. You know, typically, we do a 4-day work week. Typically, we're not even here on Friday, and there's people here right now hanging out for y'all, knowing that we were going to have this talk on Friday, Green Day. Just bought my art kit. Bless you, Donnie O'Keefe. That's awesome. I'm new. Glad to be here. Saw you on Nutrient Survival. Thank you, Michelle. Awesome. Shalom, Big Tex. Rex has a shirt now, too. Awesome, Stuart. I'll have to grab that link. So, love my adventure kit. Awesome. What are the best add-ons and supplements to the Bear Fat kit? I would get an additional tourniquet for sure. I run an additional tourniquet on the outside of my kits, and the reason for that is your primary tourniquet should be readily accessible with either hand. The one that's inside the kit, it can function as your primary tourniquet if you're using it as a standalone kit. But if you're doing anything remotely combat related, you want a minimum of one primary tourniquet that you can reach with either hand. And so I like to have an external tourniquet on the outside of my Bear Fat, which I do. I've shown you mine on camera 100 times, so I can get at it with either hand without trying. If we look at TCCC, Tactical Combat Casualty Care, there's 3 phases. There's care under fire, tactical field care, CASEVAC/medevac. Care under fire, this is a hot zone. Bullets are still flying, vehicles are still smashing into each other, things are exploding, still a hot zone. The only medicine we do in care under fire is self-aid with tourniquets if we can. But the best medicine in care under fire is putting rounds on target, okay? Establish fire superiority so we can take that hot zone to a warm zone. Once we get into a warm zone, this is when IFACs and field medic bags and stomp bags and everything else start getting busted open so we can start doing medicine. Ideally not on the X. We have moved, shoot, move, communicate, sustain, right? We have moved, get off the X during the care under fire phase. We go to tactical field care. This is in a warm zone. This means the violence, the immediacy of the violence has stopped, but it could start again. The enemy could re-engage. More people could get into a wreck because we've got 6 disabled vehicles in the middle of the road, et cetera, et cetera. That's when first aid kits come out and we start doing buddy aid, working on people other than ourselves. Self-aid if we can, buddy aid on those who need it, right? While this is happening in care under fire and tactical field care, ideally we're calling in for CASEVAC/medevac. These are 2 different things. Either way, it's getting us off the AO, the area of operations. We got to get out of here, bad shit has happened. Whether this means if you're doing actions on the objective and you have a casualty collection point set up so the aid and litter teams are going to move people off of the objective and to the CCP, or we were doing a raid and it went completely sideways, or we got ambushed or whatever, we got to go. That's CASEVAC/medevac, and we're setting that up. We're calling that in during tactical field care phase. CASEVAC is moving a casualty out of the AO without medical staff on hand. So this is, pickup truck, airplane, helicopter, whatever, motorcycle, four-wheeler, golf cart, whatever we got. But there's no higher level of care during transport. Medevac is the same thing, moving the casualty out of the area of operations, but there is a higher level of care. We've got qualified individuals who are continuing to perform work on the casualty while they're being moved. Okay, so all that to say, during anything bad that happens like this, right, a tactical situation means that violence has just happened, whether it's bullets or artillery or grenades or vehicles slamming into one another. The violence just happened here, right? We want to get off the X. While the violence is ongoing, we apply tourniquets to ourselves if we can, and that's why you need one preferably on your center line that you can access with either hand, independent from your kit, which is why I always recommend getting extra tourniquets when you're buying these kits so that you can stash those tourniquets where you need them. Okay? Okay. This hoodie got really hot. It's probably the beer. I'm going to step off camera for a moment, remove this hoodie, replace the chest rig. I'll be right back. Sorry, TikTok, can't see my pistol. Whatever, they are totally used to me disappearing. At least I'm not pissing off the porch right now.
Hey, that would be kind of awkward with us being underground, you pissing off the porch.
I got a pump installed.
Oh, well,
Yep.
then we're good.
Actually,
It's a sump pump.
Have
Yep.
you not been out on the porch?
No, I haven't.
It's right out, where the window.
that's actually a tunnel that pops up from above ground, 300 meters away. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody, Lauren.
Sorry.
Now they're going to be looking for the other end of the tunnel. It's fine. It's inside of a big hollow tree.
Hey,
Yeah.
people are saying, please don't model the dangler.
The dangler?
Hey, your gloves were like a fig leaf.
He went commando for a minute. I see the canine kit. Yeah. Yep. When was the last time you got shot in the right leg? That's a great question, Joshua. It's been a hot minute. But let's assume that I did just get shot in the right leg. Everybody go. Oh, look. I have a tourniquet in my back pocket. Oh, it also happens to be a soft tee, which luckily for me disconnects like that. So we come over here, we police our pockets. There's nothing in the way. Awesome. So super duper casual. We put this on, we get our dangler out of the way. There we go, cinch it tight, turn the windlass, one turn past bad words, and there it is. That feels so good.
Keith just put his on, and guess what? He's got to go answer the phone.
Damn it.
Oh, yes, whoever is calling Refuge right now, I appreciate you greatly, because Heath is running across the room with a cat tourniquet on his leg.
Mine is tight.
There's my soft tee. Good to go. We'll just
For the gram.
Oh.
We'll just keep that on there for a minute. All right. You're the owner, you can pee anywhere. You tell them one-legged prepper.
Yeah, you're the one that doesn't have to mop.
I got this patch from somebody at ATS. It's so good. There, you can't read it. There you go. Love it.
Are you doing the camera hop?
Doing the camera hop. There we go. All right, so Q&A, let's do it. Okay, Bear. Loading.
People are saying they want one.
I don't know where it came from. A brother gave it to me at a men's retreat. So, excellent patch. Better not wear that patch in DC. Well, that would require me being in DC, which has a low probability.
Very low.
Wood chipper, 2 bits and a pepper. Well, I just happened to show the Bandit 1290X wood chipper on camera on the video on Patreon this morning. Death to wage slave. What's up? Unit identification matters. What's up, Hans? Yeah, I saw you, Brian Keith, several times. Seen it. What other questions we got?
That's what I'm looking for. People are being quiet. Just comment.
You guys know the drill. Put your questions in all caps, all right? Put them in all caps. I'll see them. We're going to do some Q&A. We're going to drink some beer. We're going to hang out at Refuge just for a hot minute.
We went live on all the Refuge platforms, and everybody's just silent.
I know. Can I take off my tourniquet now? I don't know. How many push-ups did you do, Palmetto?
Ooh.
Y'all need a housekeeper. Not currently. We have one. I appreciate you, though. Happy Sabbath. Thank you, Brian. Bear, several questions. If you mentioned a good promo code, I came late. So you can use promo code BearNation for free shipping on everything. I'll mention again, there's no GreenDay sale because we are not going to put stuff that is in critical demand across the globe on sale right now because we can barely keep our hands on it, and we don't price point bullshit any of our kits. So if you're on Patreon, you have your standard Patreon promo code that gets you a percentage off. If you're on YouTube or any other platform, you can use promo code BearNation, 1 or 2 words, caps or not caps. All of them work for free shipping on everything in the store, and everything is HSA and FSA eligible.
Hey, Dub Style Lee said there's a radioactive water leak in Minnesota.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I did not.
Yeah. Any update on the ankle med kit? I'm super stoked. Yeah, keep your britches on. It's coming. Will you ever have an open to the public store? Who says I don't have one right now? Oh, snap. Did he just say that out? Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Are you wearing something in your beard?
Yeah,
Yes, of course.
it's a patch.
Yeah.
Lauren, don't just because you don't have a beard.
I know. You're being all jealous.
Potassium iodate.
How do you know I don't have a beard? And I shave it every morning.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
All right.
All right, whatever you're into. Somebody said, do you sell IV bags? Email sales@refugemedical.com. Potassium iodate, yes, we're working on it. We just found another supplier because it's been in incredibly high demand lately. We'll have some soon. Stay tuned.
Rick has asked a couple times about, have you thought about adding butterfly strips to the kit?
Butterfly strips, we have steri strips in most of the kits. So anything that has wound closure in it has steri strips in it. It's the same thing as butterflies. Dud, what do you got?
J. Corey Luff that won the 10K giveaway
Uh-huh.
on Instagram. You mentioned Berkey. Any concerns with their, I think, ongoing lawsuit?
Yeah, several concerns actually. Yeah, Berkey filters don't do what Berkey says they do. Yeah, it's a huge thing. Yep, I sent all that info to Harmony, and we basically landed on like, well, what are our friggin' options? Like we don't have a lot of other options. To which people would say, make your own Bear activated charcoal. I have a 55-gallon drum full of activated charcoal. You need charcoal and sand, and then you need another medium, and yep, I'm super
And you
duper
also need
aware.
time.
What?
You also need time.
Yeah, you also need time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a factor.
Yeah, it's a huge factor. So the advertised filtration capabilities of the Berkey filters, both the white filters and the black filters, don't do what Berkey says that they do. And they also don't have the service life that Berkey says that they have. A lot of those are 1,500 to 3,000 gallon service life. More like 400. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Some people are saying they have Alexa Pure. I think that's the filters that I replaced my Berkeys with because Berkeys weren't available.
So, and the other thing is, like, we have several Berkeys and we're preppers. So I have a metric shit ton of Berkey filters right now. And so it's kind of like, is it disappointing? Yeah, I don't love it at all. It's what we got. And it does work. It just doesn't work to the specifications that they say that it does. So
So what is that change in specifications? Is it like down to a certain micron level, or is it just a percentage line?
it's percentage reduction. Like certain heavy metals, it said that it reduced up to 99%. It doesn't. It's more like 50%. The service life is the big one for me. Instead of 3,000 gallons, it's more like 400 gallons. Because that's like, dude, we have the big Berkey, the Imperial, I think it is. It holds like 5 gallons, 7 gallons, whatever it is. We fill that thing every day. So you're talking like not even a half a year service life as compared to 2 years on the filters. So, big deal. Have you ever tried the Survivor Straw brand? I have not. I found the Sawyer Mini and the Sawyer Squeeze. I fell in love, and you guys got to understand this about me. I don't change things unless they need to be changed. Hey, Dud.
Yo.
If I went to a restaurant right now, sit-down restaurant, what am I going to order for dinner?
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
Yep. What are my sides going to be?
Potatoes and broccoli?
No, beans and broccoli.
Yes.
Yep. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. You know why? Because it works.
Pretty much.
That's what I get. Oh, by the way, taking the tourniquet off my leg now. You're good, Palmetto. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
almost forgot about that.
You're good. So,
Yo, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't feel my leg. I don't know.
I got
well,
comfortable.
that's one of the things that happens in training.
Yep.
Like you get so stress inoculated to it, you forget you have a tourniquet on. Like day one, the morning of day one, when people first put a tourniquet on their leg for the first time, every one of them, you can hear it, it hurts. And you're like, stand up. Like, stand up. Stand up. Get up. And they get up and everybody does the Captain Morgan pose, I don't want to put pressure on it. By the afternoon of day two, they're PTing with tourniquets on, doing buddy drags, carries, running all over the place. They're putting rounds on target with tourniquets on their legs, and they forget they're on there.
With
And so,
me, every day is a bright, sunny day that there isn't another person on top of me elbowing me in the face.
yeah, well, you do that voluntarily, though.
Well, that is true. I signed the contract, so I have to deal with it.
Bear, have you replaced your Berkey filters with different ones? I have not. Like I said, I have a metric butt ton of Berkey filters. Best tourniquet for a younger child to learn to use? Cat Gen 7. The Cat Gen 7 is probably the best tourniquet out there, period, the end. It's super intuitive. It's super easy to use. Get a blue training tourniquet. We have those at refugemedical.com. Get a blue one. It's the same exact tourniquet as the black or orange ones. They absolutely work. We've had 3 lives that have been saved with the blue tourniquets. The difference is the blue one is a training tourniquet, so you know visually when I'm using this, when I'm training with it, if I have to use one for real, I'm going to not use the blue one because I don't want to micro stress any of the threads, the connections, anything like that. What do you got?
What's in the canine kit is right behind you.
What's in the canine kit?
That's the Roddy behind
That's
you.
the Roddy.
Shepherd. I got a Shepherd right here.
Look above the book.
Yeah.
Next to the books.
That one?
I think that's a Roddy in there.
What's in the canine kit? You mean that also works for people? I'll break this down Barney style for you. Get the biggest canine kit that we have, the Mastiff, because it comes with IV start sets and IV fluids, and they totally don't work on people. Don't use them at all on people because that's not what they're for. They're for dogs. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. By the way, a lot of people don't understand. These are canine handler kits. This doesn't get worn on the dog because if the dog gets shot, stabbed, blown up, and this is on the dog's not rendering aid to itself. This is on the canine handler. It's an IFAC for the canine that the canine handler is running. It's the same concept. This is a bare minimum pouch, right? You pull it open like so, and then inside of here, you got all your canine stuff. This is the Roddy. So you've got wound packing gauze, you've got Penrose drains, decompression needle, gloves, tape, co-band, cohesive bandage, shears, quick clot. Down here in the bottom, we've got twin pack of chest seals, we've got more cohesive bandages, we've got large gauze, small gauze, duct tape, specifically designed for canines and people. And they work really well. I know very little about tactical canines, but we worked with a bunch of people that run tactical canines to put these kits together. Asked them specifically, what do you want? And our subject matter expert for this was Eric from Team 5, which is a SOFMED group, Special Operations Forces medical team, who they teach K9 TCCC, and they asked us to put some kits together for them for some of their students. I was like, I'd be happy to do that. Also, can you consult with us on what we need in canine kits? He's like, I'd be happy to do that. And thus our canine kits were born. Boopy-doopy-doo. What other questions we got? Should I bring my chest rig kit to the 3-day training in Boise? You can. You will not be allowed to have weapons on you for the 10-day scenario-based training exercise because you will be issued blue guns, and we don't like our trainers getting shot, stabbed, blown up. So
We should add
I'd say I'd say you could bring it with you, but don't feel bad if the instructors say, no, leave that in the truck. What do you got, Dud?
We should add one more name to the K9 kit series.
Yep.
Fur Missile.
Fur Missile, I like it. Any chance of return of phone time with Bear? What's up, Keenan Finkelstein? Yes, I've been thinking about that lately. Yes, there's a chance of that. When that happens, I don't know. Schedule's been insane lately. Question, hey Bear from Canada, what's your top 5 survival books right now? Top 5 survival books, 0, well, 1, the scriptures. Other than that, like, I don't really have a bunch of survival books that I have a bunch of survival books that I refer back to, but they don't live in the rotation. It's more like after a lifetime of doing this, you know, I grew up in the woods, and it turns out like a lot of what you do in the woods to not die is now classified as survival. I'm not reading all the brand new survival books as they come out. I'm not even reading the old survival books as they come out. A lot of what I know from sitting at the foot of the master. And I've been blessed throughout my life. I've had a lot of daddies with green hats who have taught me stuff one-on-one or in small groups. So I don't have a lot of recommendations for that. If you're talking about like preparedness, get Pastor Joe's book, Prepared Americans, Survivalist Family, Prepared Americans for a Strong America. And you can find that. We have that in the store at Refuge Medical somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. Booby-dooby-doo, swag. Oh, we have Refuge t-shirts as well.
You don't remember you being in a video posing?
Dud, I'm in so many freaking videos all the time. Thank you. We also have AEDs in the store, because a lot of you all have been asking about AEDs. This is Pastor Joe's book, Survivalist Family, a Strong, Prepared Americans for a Strong America. Really good book. And there's a lot of stuff in here talking about like survival. Let me go to the front of the book. And I guess it's the back of the book where he lists all the things that are in here. He's got some great lists as well.
We're going to have a reading.
A reading? Like...
You need now you need a pipe.
Appendices, water and food, hygiene, medical, equipment, paperwork, 2-week home food supply, bug out bag food, long-term food storage, evacuation or 72-hour kit, information packet, kids survival supplies, bug out vehicle equipment, bug out bag lists, child's bug out bag, references, and his references are great. Crescent Kearney, Bruce Clayton, David Warner, Running Press, Murray Dixon, Masada Ayub, Jeff Cooper, Joel Skousen. I mean, come on. Basic First Aid Kit, Family Contact Plan, etc., etc. It's a great book. But like here, teaching survivalism to your kids, right? Lost proofing your kids. Entire chapter on like how to teach your kids. Awesome. Great book. Does anyone have a recommendation for water testing kit that could be used at home? Detecting heavy metals and other gick. I don't have a recommendation. I bought some off of the internet 5 years ago when we moved to Oklahoma because the sale of our land was contingent upon good water testing, and then Oklahoma also has DEQ, the Department of Environmental Quality, and we sent samples to them as well. So we had independent testing plus DEQ testing, and they both, praise Yah, came back with the same numbers, and all those numbers were good. Bear, did your grandpa Charlie ever talk about a friend named Ray Chiaka when he served? Thomas, if he did, I don't remember. For your children, do you all have special bags or just use regular bags? We have little backpacks that they can carry. Excuse me. Now, 2 of my kids are teenagers. So they carry, you know, larger bags, not as big as I carry. But my kids, my older kids and my wife carry largish bags, 30-ish liter bags. For the little, she has a little backpack. And what she carries is comfort gear. What she wants for comfort gear. A blanket, a book, pad of paper and some pencils for drawing, you know, a stuffed animal, you know, snivel gear. That's what she carries. Because I want her to be comfortable. I need her mindset right. We carry all the stuff that she needs. I carry all the stuff that she needs in my bag.
Hey Bear, Rick S is asking, will there be a Bear beer kit? There's been Bear coffee. There's been Bear facts. There's been all of these different Bear necessities. What about Bear beer?
I prophesy yes.
Ooh.
When? I don't know. In the meantime, Belching Beaver Brewery Peanut Butter Milk Nitro Stout.
All they have to do is add Bear.
All they got to do is change the label.
Yeah.
That's it, because that's what I want. Let's see. Best med kit to mount on a saddle while riding in the woods. Ooh, Emily, that's a really good question. So if you have the real estate, because you have 1 horsepower, right? Like, so weight is less of a concern than real estate is. I would lean towards something a little bit larger like the Bearfac. I think that's a really good kit for that application, because the size and weight constraints are far less on a horse than they are on your person. And you're gonna have lots of capability with the Bearfac. If not that, probably the Bare Minimum 2.0, I think is a really good idea, because you have capability from boo-boos all the way up to bullet holes. What do you got?
It would all depend on if they're carrying an AR or a lever action.
Would it?
Yeah, I think it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like what kind of lever action?
I see.
357, 3030, 556, 4570.
So that's what would balance out the kit. Just like you have beers for certain occasions, you have cigars for certain occasions, you have to have first aid kits for certain occasions to pair with the correct rifle.
I would start with the Bearfac, because it covers basically all of the March algorithm, and it covers all the bases. John Rambo, what's up, John Rambo? Why you be shooting an M60 from the hip? Yeah, I know, that poor town in Oregon. I'm not here to save him from you. I'm here to save you from him. Thanks, Colonel Troutman. I would say the adventure kit due to the splint and C-collar for falls. Quixotic one, so I was thinking about adventure kit. And the reason I didn't say adventure kit was because I didn't know how much real estate for the horse that they had. But the adventure kit is a great medium-sized kit. Like vehicle kit, homestead kit, barn kit, workplace kit. Like it's not that big. It's this big. It's about twice as wide as a Bearfac is. Weighs 8 pounds, maybe like a gallon of milk. Would you say that's about accurate? 8 pounds for an adventure kit? In that range. And it's got all the molly webbing and the shoulder bag, or shoulder strap rather, and like it's got all the PALS webbing on the back here, so you could lash this to anything. I've seen people stick these on the side of stomp bags, honestly.
Saws actually did an individual review on that bag specifically.
Mm-hmm.
He put it through the paces, put it through
He froze it solid. That's right. That's right. And you know what? It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Speaking of saws, he's in the Refuge HQ GreenDay chat.
Oh.
Said sweet rig, pouches for beer.
You like
and
that?
cigars,
You like
and
that?
Refuge medical kits.
You know, Saw, it's almost like you knew a thing or two when you designed this damn thing. I love it. It's really good. I'm gonna give this one away on Patreon.
Super.
Beer
Yep.
included?
You know, maybe we'll see. I mean, why the hell not, right?
That's a $350 rig.
Yeah, it is. And I've already got some testing planned for it. So like when you get it, it's not gonna be new. It will have mud on it from the range and
This thing away?
yeah.
Y'all don't even understand how special those are and how much time.
I know.
goes into making
I
them.
know. This is from the first run of the final version that got approved by SAW. Like this is legit. And when I give it away on Patreon, I'm gonna fill all the pockets up with all the cool stuff.
Oh,
Yep. So it'll be fully loaded.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
It'll have my legitimate blood, sweat, and tears on it. Mud from Oklahoma on it. I'll put some oak leaves and pine needles in the pockets for you. Maybe stick a cigar in there. You know, maybe a 6-pack of peanut butter nitro stout. You know, we'll see. We'll
That's what
see.
Oklahoma smells like anyway.
Yeah, that's my part of Oklahoma anyway.
Peanut butter,
Dirt,
butter,
pine
and
needles, and peanut butter.
Yeah.
That's right. And gunpowder.
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 That's what our dirt's made out of.
It is. That's why nothing will grow in it. Had to use my pocket kit to patch up a fellow worker last Friday when the access hatch fell and cut him open. Not life-threatening injury, but he got 15 stitches. Damn, Ghost, good job. Hey, send us an email, Ghost. Tell us what you used. We got you, homie. Bless you, Bear. May the Father always turn his face toward you and yours. Shalom. Bless you, Jacob.
The Mastiff/Adventure kit bag is solid.
Thank you, Brother Saw. It is. He froze it solid. I watched that video. There was a little part of me that was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. We're fixing to find out, you know? And I was kind of like, yeah, but that's the other thing, too, is like, let's say he broke it. You know what we would do? We would replace it and then make it better so it didn't break again. Like, 'cause like that's how we learn, right? That's why we have the Bearfac 3.0, the Stomp 2.0. What do you got?
Well, we have something, and I will not say what it is.
Uh-huh.
But there is something in the works with Sojourn Gear that I have been capturing footage of them testing it out. And when I say testing, they're putting weight into this thing.
Nice.
And walking around with it and making sure, and then tweaking it and stuff like that. So it's not just here's the idea, here's the product. It's test it, change it, test it, change it.
Well, that's, I think a lot of people miss that, is we do a lot of gear review of our own gear. Like we run it, like we use it, and we find all the little flaws in it as we're using it, so that by the time it gets to y'all, like it's top tier stuff. And we also have people who, like they bet their lives on this kit every day, who are telling us, real end users, you know, people who are out there doing the things, real end users. You know, you ever see those cool guy photos from over in the sandbox and everybody's got their face blurred out? Those guys, right? And they're like, love it, but if you could just change this one little thing, got you, homie. Got you, got you. And so we continue to iterate and iterate and iterate. And that's why, like, if it's good enough for Naval Special Warfare or U.S. Army SF, it's good enough for me. If the Smash Kit is good enough for a Baja racing team that goes 140 miles an hour through the desert for 1,000 miles, it's good enough for the minivan, you know? And so we find like these extreme applications, make sure it works in the extreme applications, and I know that it then covers everything down from there. Doug Buca, thank you. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. What's up, Sergeant Storms? I managed to break parts of my flux. So if it's breakable, I can break it. Well, I believe you. You know, also hashtag Marine Corps. So what's in the Solo Cup? Just got here 5 minutes ago. Can you see it? You see that delicious elixir? It's GreenDay. So we're having some peanut butter milk nitro stout. Carrie Stennett, bless you. Thank you. I try to stay gray man whenever possible. I feel you on that. Shalom, Storms. I sent a suggestion to Cody about his TQ pouch, not because it's not good, but because I carry it every day and I found a way to make it better. Exactly, exactly. What is the next 75 hard gonna be? Probably in April sometime. Looking that way. What are the questions we got? Hit me in the chat.
Lily Homestead on TikTok said, just ran a house clearing drill with a soft tee on the right leg.
Nice. Good job. Good job. Hopefully your weapon was clear and you have good weapons handling.
People don't understand about Sojourn Gear. If a stitch is off a little bit, it gets thrown in the trash. So sometimes our trash... yes, dumpster diving is a real thing for Sojourn Gear equipment.
Yeah.
How many times have the employees here been like, why is that in the trash?
Yep.
But can I have it though?
Yeah. Yeah, but can I like crazy glue and duct tape? And he's like, no, it's not good enough. Trash. but
Dan has a whole bin up in his shop that there was something off with it and it's
Yep.
not good enough to go anywhere else, so it goes into the bin.
Yep, that's right. The learning bin. You learn something bin. All right. Let's see. I see a bunch of questions over here I want to answer real quick. Let's see. Where did it go? What type of chest rig are you wearing? This is the Sojourn Gear American-made saw rig that is not available for sale yet, but when it is available for sale, I will let you all know. And this one here, I will be putting through its paces in the near future and giving away to one lucky patron on Patreon. Next question. Pinup Prepper. What was your takeaway from your chat with Ben at Suspicious Observers? I loved talking with Ben. I thought it was a really great conversation. I loved his acknowledgement of the hand of the Father in all of this. I thought that was really good. And like practical takeaways, I think on our end at Bear Camp, we're doing damn near everything we can the right way, even if it's not always the best. At least we're doing it. The only thing is, according to Ben's hypothesis, do we have enough elevation to survive? No. But I also firmly believe that if we're supposed to go to a higher elevation, that the Father will tell us, because he told us to come here, and everybody here listened. And so I think in large part, that might have been a test, a gate to pass through if we got to go somewhere else. So, but I've really enjoyed it, and Ben and I talked afterwards for 10, 15 minutes, and are both in agreement that we need to do it again sometime soon. So I liked it a lot. Let's see. Have you ever thought of building a recovery maintenance truck? Yes, but I haven't yet, because that wouldn't be the best use of grindstone funds right now, and I don't personally need one. But yes. Tim S. Followed for years, got some facts and wound care buckets. Local training, want more, got people out. Built up supplies, did the thing, and still doing more. Thank you for giving me a swift kick in the pants years ago. More ready now than most. More to do. Bless you, Tim S. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Any chemtrails in your area today? I don't know, man. We're 42 foot below the dirt. Suggestions for 240 volt portable genset for homestead use. I couldn't recommend a brand. I've got several. We've got some of the 30 kW, 240 volt, 50 amp tow behind, genset light trailer things, and then we've got some 10K, 50 volt, 240 amp standalone generators, and they all do what I need them to do. The thing is to realize, like, you're getting 50 amps on any of those, and so if you want something bigger than that, like a Generac or something else, like, you're gonna pay through the nose for it. But for about $1,000, $1,200, you can get a 10,000 watt, 240 volt generator that gives you 50 amps, which is enough to do a lot of stuff, run the fridge, the freezer, maybe even the HVAC, and power some lights. What do you got?
I've got NWA Prepper.
NWA Prepper.
It's just in town.
Tactical Bunnies, fuzzybunnies.com.
He would like to know if we are all willing to sign our names on the back of a kit or on the inside if he asks when he orders it.
Yes, I would be happy to sign my name or our names on the back or inside of a kit if somebody wants that when they order it. I'd be happy to do that. I've got all the Sharpies. Great question, NWA Prepper. Shalom, bro. We got a supply drop from NWA Prepper the other day. Cases of oatmeal cream pies. Cases. I will tell you that I've had one, not case, one oatmeal cream pie. What do you got, Dad?
Saul said, y'all got family in the high mountains. I'm pretty sure Bear Camp will be fine as long as vertically aligned.
Amen. And we appreciate our family in the high mountains deeply. There's a lot of us, bro. We're gonna need to be able to get semis and circus tents to Saw Camp. Bear, what footwear do you wear to ruck in? Any certain brand or boot or shoe? Great question, John Rambo. I have some Merrell ankle height hiking boots that are the most common ones that I wear. I also have some Rocky brand snake boots that come up to, just below the knee that I wear a lot. They're very lightweight, relatively waterproof-ish. I like them a lot. And then I've also got some Bellevilles, but they're more of they're a leather Belleville, but they've got the jungle boot ports in the side of them. And so they're not bad for rucking as far as getting some cross ventilation on your feet when your feet are sweating. But when you stop, if you're still outside, having airports on the side of your boot when it's 19 degrees outside, or when it's snowy or raining, or you're walking through puddles. Not great. It's not great. So, Pinup Prepper. In response to suspicious observers, my only thing is, didn't God promise not to flood the earth again? Thoughts? Yes, he did. And yeah, I agree. I don't know. I personally can't. I can't rectify his worldview with what the Father said on that. I could see some people wanting to make the argument of like, yeah, but when he said that to the Israelites in the Promised Land. And according to Ben, you know, that's one of the axes that the earth turns on, so it wouldn't flood there. But everybody else, blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe. But you guys know what my definition of Israel is, and if the Father said so, I'm going to believe the Father over anybody else. I can say from experience, Merrill is where it's at. Yeah, I like the Merrills. They're really good. What are your thoughts about eating at restaurants that serve unclean food? Also, do you think medium rare steak is like eating meat with lifeblood? No, eating medium rare steak is not eating its lifeblood. That's fluid that's inside the meat. That's not arterial or venous blood. So when you kill the animal, you take your knife and you drag it across its neck, and the heart pumps all that blood out of it. The lifeblood is gone. As far as eating at restaurants that serve unclean food, when we do that, which we do on occasion, we tell them, hey, everybody at this table has a pork allergy. They're like, roger that. And in many cases, the restaurants that we frequent the most, they will clean the grill down or the griddle down for us before they cook our food, which is why we keep going back there, and which is why we tip them very prettily so that we continue to be, you know, we get good service, we get good food, we don't have to worry about all of that. We just tell people right up front, like, hey man, we don't eat swine. This table has a pork allergy. They're like, roger that, got it. What do you got?
What holster do you wear? I can't find a comfortable one for EDC.
It depends. IWB or OWB? Glock 19, Glock 19X, Glock 17, Glock 34, Glock 21.
But what are they carrying?
But what are they carrying? TLR1, TLR7, TLR1HL, you know, Olight, Odin Mini XLT 4x4 Lariat 4-door, like.
None of those holsters will work for me.
Yeah, because you got a Czechoslovakian Springfield.
Yep.
Yep.
TJ, you've got a holster for every day of the week, and then some.
I have, and Bear Nation, I love y'all. I love you, every one of you. But please, do not send me any more holsters, because I feel bad. I feel bad when y'all are like, I'm going to send Bear a holster. And then I get the holster, and I'm like, this is a good holster. I already have, I'm not exaggerating, 24 Glock 17 with TLR1HL holsters. That's just for that one gun, because people know Bear runs a Glock 17 most of the time, and he likes the TLR1, so I'm going to make him a holster. And while I appreciate that, thank you, I already have a lifetime supply of holsters. The IWB holster that I run, light bearing holster, is an IMI. It's an Israeli Kydex, and then I've got a Bravo concealment Glock 17 with the TLR1HL holster on right now. So the thing with holsters, man, what I tell everybody is, find a Kydex company you like, preferably a small company, you know, like support small business. Find a Kydex company you like, and just get a holster. And if you like it a lot, get a spare one so it can live on the shelf somewhere. Strive to be Israel. I try to explain to my mother why we are Israel, and maybe my wording is wrong. Would you have a quick bullet point definition? Absolutely. Genesis 32. Genesis 32. Go read Genesis 32. Let's see. If I go to the Bible app, and I go to Genesis 32. Down here, I think it's 32:16. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Dead air. Not allowed to have that, right?
At times, it just builds the anticipation.
Genesis 32:28. And he said, your name is no longer called Jacob, but Israel, because you have striven with Elohim and with men and have overcome. Okay, and have overcome. So Israel means he who is struggling with, he who is overcoming with, and he who is ruling with Elohim. And then if you take that further, where else have we seen that word overcome? From the first book in the Bible to the last book of the Bible, and you go to Revelation 2, 3, and 4, and underline everywhere it says, to him who overcomes, to him who overcomes, to him who overcomes, to him who overcomes. To him who overcomes I shall give to eat from the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim. He who overcomes shall by no means be harmed by the second death. Interesting. Yeah, it sounds important, like Messiah wanted us to know some stuff. To him who overcomes I shall give some of the hidden manna to eat, and I shall give him white stone on it, and on the stone a renewed name written, which no one knows except him who receives it. And it just goes on and on and on. Him who overcomes, him who overcomes, him who overcomes. Read Revelation 2, 3, and 4. And he who overcomes and guards my works until the end, to him I shall give authority over the nations, and he shall shepherd them with a rod of iron, as the potter's vessel shall be broken to pieces, as I also have received from my Father. And it goes on and on and on from there. So Israel is the tree of life, which is what the Gentile believers in Messiah, Romans 11, are grafted into. The term second death is the scariest damn thing I ever heard in my life. Amen, Palmetto. Loading.
Uh-oh. Pull!
Man, those things pop open with some authority.
You should send one this way over to Keith.
You want one?
Take cover!
Here you go.
That is thick. I'll come to you.
Why are you walking like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
That's his best Dudley impersonation.
Is that what it
Wait,
is?
whoa. We need the ASMR for the mics.
Oh, yeah.
Pop
Real
that
close.
top. Oh.
Way less satisfying.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Iodate versus iodine.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Iodate has a much longer shelf life and fewer negative side effects. Broadhead said lame. Let's see. The image of you in a Marpat thong. Now I can't get it out of my mind. Thanks, Bear. Hey, you're welcome. Dudley's wearing one right now. We're just trying not to get demonetized.
Yep.
All right. I got time for one more question. My ride is on their way. Bear, do you do B-Day shout-outs? My son turns 14 tomorrow. John Rambo, what's his name? What's his name? Say his name. What chainsaw do you recommend?
Oh, I know.
I've heard this before.
I know.
What do I recommend? Hold on. His name's Tyler.
It's not a husky.
Happy birthday, Tyler.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you and many more.
It's not a Ryobi.
It's not a Ryobi.
I don't even think
I
it's
mean,
anymore.
it's what, here's my thing with chainsaws. My understanding of how to recommend chainsaws to people is evolving, because it's a lot like, what gun should I buy? I don't know. What are you doing? What is your skill level? Where do you live? What's the most likely use that you're going to have for this thing? I'll tell you, the three saws that I grab all the time. The number one saw that I grab is a Steel MS362 wrap handle with a 20-inch bar, full chisel. The number two saw that I grab all the time is a Steel 391 25-inch bar, full chisel. And the number three saw that I grab all the time is a Steel 661 32-inch bar, full wrap, full chisel. And some people, including our brother Saw, have had a hell of a time with their 661. Mine runs like a top. But for most people, the 362 with a 20-inch bar will do what most people need to do. And but understand, it's a pro saw. It's not a toy. You will cut the shit out of yourself with that saw if you don't know what you're doing.
Saws is heading into a no-sell coverage.
Oh, snap.
So he said, bless y'all. Shalom.
Shalom,
and
brother.
Have an awesome Shabbat.
Amen.
So what you're saying about chainsaws, you can either pick this steel, or this steel chainsaw.
That's correct. You heard that correctly. I in no way recommended a Husqvarna or any other brand. That's correct. But again, I find something I like and I stick with it, and steel has always been good to me.
That's why I still got a Springfield.
Okay. All right. One more question. What do we got?
Let's see.
Book titles in the background. That's easy. We've got The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, Strength Finders 2.0, Crash the Chatterbox by Stephen Furtick, Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, 75 Hard by Andy Frisella, The Power of One Word by Ed Milet, and Principles by Ray Dalio. Bear, you're going to do the hot seat. Hemi, we will end with that. There's a snowball's chance in hell I do the hot seat. That is not happening.
Late. Even I'm doing the hot seat.
Hey, you know who doesn't care? This guy. Not doing it. Refer back to who signs paychecks. Not doing it. Not doing it. I don't like hot stuff.
You and Todd are going to be together. That is going to be some.
I think it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be so funny.
Will you call the tactical underwear bear briefs? Yes, but we're also calling the thong the dangler.
Will they be made by Covert Threads?
When I worked in the log yard, they only used Huskies, 300 RPMs higher than steel. I'm a steel fan. Yeah, I don't like Huskies. I just don't like them. In my experience, they're heavier, they're more finicky, they're harder to tune. They need more service. Their saw chain is not as good. The quality of saw chain is not as good as steel. So, Bear, you and me in the hot seat. You win, I give you 5K to Caleb House. Perry Ballabuster, how about instead I just give 5K to Caleb House and we don't have to deal with my stomach ulcers as a result?
Good point.
All right, I'm done. Happy Green Day, everybody. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for watching. Refuge Medical, Refuge Training, Grindstone Ministries. We appreciate you. Bear Independent, the website, the YouTube channel, all those things. The saw rig, Sojourn gear, Jocko Mulk, Jocko Fuel, peanut butter beer. That's what I got.